even different some arises, you see, different reactions in every of, you see, the readers. Now, it seems that by these different types of reactions, the author is going to present something that is at the same time it is not well known to people, is not going to change people or divert, you see, people to a new situation, somehow to annoy people, to see different visions of men's word and man's worldview through his let's say way of narrating it, or the device that he has used. You see the satire in the book, telling the story through the Captain Gulliver with his own features. Now he is apparently you see, polite, modest, and is curious to see everything, asking about, yes, it is the voyage of life. Like you see, a voyage, as you see, you have mentioned. It is somehow like before our eyes that everybody is able to see, discover himself, and the other about their behavior, about their anxiety, about their respect, their politeness, their honor, their feeling. So these are the, let's say, laws of, dominant laws of, better to say, dominant laws of different phases of treatments, and even different effects may people receive from different situations, and the defects of man in this case, and the way that men are somehow satisfied through, you see, different you see, things. All right. Now, even we see that there are some, you see, facts about the situation you see here. We know that, okay, we have very small creatures and we have some giants, but we are somehow impressed by these creatures. I think that when reading, you see, the novel, going through the details of every of the situations or any of the geographical, you see, places, we are impressed in such a way that we believe all these characters, all these men, and we do not somehow, not to see perfectly, somehow we think that they are not imaginative. When we see, you see, the short man, we trust all things that are narrated by Captain, you see, Gulliver in these instances. When we go to different, different, you see, paragraphs about different, you see, times that Gulliver visits different inhabitants here and there, about, you see, the conditions, or about the brooding nags, for example. Here I have, you see, some lines I've opened the book in front of my eyes. For instance, the Queen's joiner had contrived a kind of wooden machine 25 and 20 foot high, formed like a standing ladder. The steps were each 50 foot long. It was indeed a movable part of the stairs, the lowest, and placed at 10 feet distance from the wall of the chamber. The book I had a mind to read was put up leaning against the wall. I first mounted to the upper step of the ladder and turning my face towards the book, began at the top of the page and saw walking to the right and left about 8 to 10 paces according to the length of the lines, till I had gotten a little below the level of mine eyes, and then descending gradually till I came to the bottom, after which I mounted again and began the other page in the same manner, and so turned over the leaf, which I could easily do with both my hands, for it was as thick and as stiff as a pasteboard, and the largest volumes not above 18 or 22 long. Sometimes we see or we face with such details in order to make us accept, all events, all the frameworks in the novel. And these are something that used masterfully in order to make everything believable and credible to the readers. Now that some of the other students have attended the class, you can find different types of things mentioned here and there about this novel, for example, about the religious background, about the political background that Swift used in the novel. But I like to focus on the questions I have given them to you. All right. The first question is these are the questions that I asked. The first one, what are different concepts of man's perfection? Now, those who are going to answering the questions, let me know about them to activate your microphone. Manuel, yes. No, it is. It has been activated, Manuel. Yes, Manuel. Uh, you activate your own microphone. So let me activate the microphone on all the students. Then if you don't want to talk, you can just lock your or
The writer on Gilbert's Travels presents us with different concept of perfection.
Okay.
With the rational perfection.
And any of these referring to different details in the novel?
For instance, in the fourth voyage,
Winham, you mean?
In the fourth voyage, we can go with the writer about the reasoning perfection.
But this is same question as one of the students, Ghafer, says here. How does the polarize between spirituality and animalistic tendency? So, according to this question, he believes that the only way to perfection is through spirituality, not being, animalistic or behaving like animals.
Yes.
As we have different. Yes.
And the swift perfection, from his point of view, is the gray perfection, neither white nor black, a mixture of rational, logical feeling, and a mixture of all the different concept of perfection through the novel.
Okay, you see, part of the question is related to these possibility of mention. First of all, I think, we are supposed to think what we mean by perfection. Perfection has some concepts. For instance, as you mentioned, one of them may be a man and man's irrationality, since it differentiates man from the other creatures. As we know, maybe there are some other some main features beneficial to this creature. I mean, man, more than even reason. Let me clarify this as we may think that this is the only thing that man different from the other creatures. Earlier in time, somebody believed that man is the only animal who talks. So we can find this animalistic view or animalistic tendency of man toward comparing to the other creatures.
Yes.
He is an animal who is able to talk. But later on, they try to train some other animal that they were able to talk. And even when you see, by reason, we mean sometimes you see the logic. It is possible to calculate different situations related to every phenomena. Now, maybe words. There are some other creatures, some other animals, like crows, for example. Crows. They see that they are able to calculate things. They are able to create a new situation.
Yes.
So it is somehow possible that if I don't know, if they are trained, they are able even to activate this strength, and then they are even empowered. Maybe like, it is somehow clear that they are not able to, for instance, invent something new, but they are able to solve some simple problems. Open, for instance, the doors, even the doors that are locked. They are able. So this shows that we have reasoning among the other creatures, whether it is simple or complex, in man. Now, can we say that reasoning is one of the main concepts of man's perfection? This is, the question regarding the brooding neck. The giant creatures. Since they are giants, so maybe they are more powerful in even some of these concepts, even in reasoning, irrationality. And we want to know really, as Michael Foucault says, sometimes we see that when everything is on its summit, on the top, for example, the top of the societies, so they are more rational than the others, because they have the power, they have been empowered by all the forces around, so it is believed that they are more perfect because of it. And it says that sometimes the power enrages the top from the bottom of the pyramid because of the pressures, not only that are around. Now here we see that there are different things around Gulliver, but even if it seems like a very small insect or creatures in the hand of these giants, and is somehow sold, moving from here and there, but at the first glance, he thinks that they are going to bother him. They are going to somehow doing something like revenge, or some sort of happen, even if they are giants, even if they are very strong and powerful. Like puppet start somehow playing with Gulliver. Now, how do you think and evaluate these these concepts of perfection in this land, giant lands?
Can I say something, sir?
Yes, Bharat, please.
Yes. Well, the human nature was, what's the human nature was one question that was interested in philosophy and in science, maybe in literature or general, and they try to discover what the human nature is. If we want to try to discover that, there's a certain things we should, let's say, ideas that we put in our mind. For example, religion, and we know that religion in back centuries was very important in that time. And if we look to Islamic religion and our religion, we say that human nature is better than other human. This is contrary or opposite to what philosophy. Philosophy, for example, they say no. Human nature is what the man is rational, right? It's like Plato and Aristotle focused on that man should think logically without emotion and feeling. While the scientists, for example, Darwin, I guess, he said, no, the human and the animal are the same, because they think that a human, like in Islamic, that a human is better than an animal because it has feeling on mind and something like that. While the science said it's no, human and animal are the same, but the human brain is like advanced progress or advanced developed than a human. The same thing that in a human that we can find in animals, but it's like a little advanced. Okay, so now if we back to Gulliver Travels, we find that here is criticized the human's foolishness, human desire and emotion, all these things. So if we back to when he traveled to land, when he find these 6 inches animals and try to tie him, they are immoral and they are like violence and something like that. When in addition to that, he traveled to another land where they're giant. They are wise and rational on all these same things. So it's not about the power and the physical thing they have, just it's about the mind. And here's I want to criticize the human, the society, the people, the man who thinks better than other animals because he have a physical power and let's say rational thinking. But it's about the immoral, the attitude, all things. What make the man is it's not about the physical and not about the rational, emotional, all these things. No, it's about moral attitude, and we can point to in Shakespeare. Shakespeare is like I can say that he affected or he related to the philosopher, the French or German philosopher. I don't remember actually. Was Thomas Hobbes. He said that the human nature
Thomas Hobbes.
Yes, exactly.
Thomas Hobbes.
About Thomas Hobbes. Right. He said that human nature is about what? It's about selfishness and wars and fight against himself. So we can find in Shakespeare about Hamlet and Macbeth that the human nature is what is evil. So Shakespeare is never dependent on the real nature about the human, but about the human nature, of course. But what about the philosophy?
Sorry to interrupt you for 1 minute. There are also lots of things about human nature, like Alexander Pope's essay on man, like John Locke's essay concerning human understanding, and in some instances, Hobbes you mentioned also in Arabic, also Ibn Hisham. We have related to this idea, even since Aristotle, Aristotle on the spirit of man and the soul or psyche of man. There are lots of things about this nature, but is it you think according to man's nature sometimes so strict in some instances, with full of emotions and passions, as we see even in some parts of this, giants. Let me go through this line. The farmer by this time was convinced it must be a rational creature. He spoke of it to me, but the sound of his voice pierced my ears like that of mill to mill, and yes, words were articulate enough. Then takes him home and shows Gulliver to his wife. He showed me to her, but she screamed, ran back, as women in England do at the sight of a toad or a spider. However, fear, passions, love, kindness. So all these are different senses, different, passions. So man is full of emotions. And as you referred to Shakespeare, Othello, for example, a very brave man, full of strength, muscular, participating in different battlefields, but once is very weak against his jealousy and killed his loved wife, Desdemona, for instance, out, brave candle. Okay, so
Lisa, can I add something?
Yes, please, yes.
According to me, it is not from critical view, but according to me, I see that there are 4 voyages. That means man is looking for perfection in science and religion and industry, in everything. He's looking for his perfection, but he didn't find it. Always, when he visits any island, he's going to return back to his nature. So he is still in the looking for perfection.
And that's why I say I gave you 2 or 3 different parts of this, as you see, the extracts.
The basis of our life, we are always looking for perfection, for the good things. Even we want to be out of our religion, to master ourselves, not mastered by a higher power than us.
Yes, but you see, we are not going to look at the novels and the stories according to our own knowledge and idea. To see, okay, we are Muslims. There are some ways. Yes, there are some ways. Even to look at, the readers who are, Muslims, and then compare it with, the religion. For example, you know it, better than me. Or something like this.
Yes.
To worship us. Okay, you see the same thing somehow. All right, now if we are going to look at it according to our own religion, okay, we may say that in our religion the only master is God and nothing else. But here we have some other situations.
Yes, I agree
for
with you.
example,
I said we are looking for this perfection.
Okay, and this is the way that I think Jonathan Swift is telling us. As I mentioned, you see, to vex men, to make men angry about different situations. I remind you here of one of the odes in Antigone by